And good afternoon. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Hey, I'm going to ask for just a little assistance real quick. Hey, Greg, if you don't mind spinning that around for me real quick. All right, we have got a isolated chance for a shower today. I'm not expecting any flooding at all, but there is a marginal risk that we could see some flooding over the weekend. Right now, I would say it's probably isolated, but we're going to get into a real complex kind of situation over the weekend, and we're going to step through it. Again, for the weekend, maybe an isolated threat for flooding, but we'll get to that here in just a second. Okay, let's talk about this. By the way, Ryan put this together, and perspective as to how big of a flood this was there in the Kerrville area. I almost don't even need to say that. You know that it was definitely a major impact. But yeah, 6,000 folks lost their lives there in the Galveston hurricane back in September 1900. San Antonio flood, we had a big one back in September 1921, and the San Antonio River flooded. 180 folks lost their lives, and you can see the Kerrville. Right now it's 120. May end up being more. Let's hope not. And Hurricane Harvey, 68 in that hurricane back a long time ago. Not a long time ago. 8 years? Can't believe it's been 8 years already. But anyway, in 2017. Okay, let's take a look at the forecast and what I am expecting as we head into the day today. All right, radar outside right now. We've got isolated showers popping up all over the place, kind of down to the south. Yeah, there we go. Little isolated showers down in Wilson County, Atascosa County. There's not many of them, but you can see them there. And so, yeah, we've got a chance, about a 10 to 20% chance for today. Over there around Hallettsville, we've got a chance as well. Over around Cuero, seeing an isolated shower. Gonzales as well. And you can see the individual cumulus clouds. As you notice, we've got more cumulus clouds that are reaching a little bit of altitude there than we did yesterday. Yesterday, that Saharan dust did two things. Really knocked the humidity levels down and also knocked any kind of chance for rain down, that's for sure. All right, current temperature out there right now, we're sitting in the mid-80s at 86 degrees. Feels like 91. Dew point is at 70 currently. And looking at the humidity right around 59%. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna kind of make a little maneuver here. I'm gonna show the 14-day, and then I'm gonna load up another show because I don't have this loaded up the way I want it. But anyway, hopefully that'll stay and won't go away. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Yes, perfect. All right, you guys take a look at that 14-day forecast. I think the next several days, high temperatures are going to be in the low to mid-90s. Oh man, it went away. Low to mid-90s, around 93. And then as we head into next week, mid-90s, around 95 degrees or so. And the temperatures down. Here's my dilemma, and I'm going to tap dance a little bit here. Here's my dilemma. Is the computer models, and I'm talking about almost all of them. I really like the Canadian, what it's doing with the temperatures, but the European and the GFS, both of those models, which is the American model, both by the end of next week want high temperatures to be like 103, 104. I mean, they're just completely out to lunch. With this kind of soil moisture that we've got, there is just no way that we're going to be hitting those temperatures. So mark that down. I just really don't believe so. So my dilemma is keeping temperatures where I think makes most sense. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start this all over again. Here we go. Temperatures outside. We're sitting at 86 degrees right now. The record high for the date is 107, and that was set back in 2022. Have you noticed that we haven't broken any records in a while? It's been, you got to go all the way back to mid-May. That was the last time that we broke a record high, and I don't see any record highs being broken anytime soon. The record low for the date was 60 back in 1905. All right, it's partly cloudy out there right now. High temperatures today will be in the about 93 degree range. And this evening, I know it's Friday night, if you've got anything planned this evening, temperatures will be in the 80s with partly cloudy skies out there. Okay, this is a better radar. This is coming out of my show. I had a different show loaded up. But anyway, you can see we've got some isolated showers showing up, and then we got isolated showers over to the south and east. And so again, about a 10 to 20% chance of seeing some rain. Let's take a look at those temperatures around 86 here. I believe over in Kerrville right now it's 82. Hunt, Ingram, temperatures there around the Hunt, Ingram area in the lower 80s as well at around 81, 82 degrees. Notice how the hill country is a little bit cooler, especially versus like locations to the south. George West 91, Catula's coming in at 90. So it is going to be seasonably hot for the first responders and for everybody that's working over there in the Kerrville area. Okay, let's get to the pattern and what I think is going to happen. Before we do that, let me see if I can answer any questions. I know Rita went away. Sorry, I thought I had my right one up here. Let's see, it's back. Yes, thank you, Karen. Okay, so from here, we're going to step through what I think is going to happen over the weekend. That's the most important part. Okay, this time of the year, if you've lived here for any length of time, you know when high pressure is right over Texas, you can't buy a drop of rain, and it's just hot as Hades, right? Well, when we're in between the two, like we have been, then things are usually pretty good. Of course, we did pick up way too much rain. And lately, we've picked up way too much rain, but you know how that's the way it works around South Texas. But we're in this weakness. And so in that weakness between the two highs, that promotes lift, and you see scattered showers. And that's what we've been seeing more times than not lately. There's one thing that I am watching, though, as we head into Saturday, and this is approximately in the morning on Saturday. I think Saturday afternoon, up around Oklahoma and the Panhandle and the northwestern part of the state, I think numerous thunderstorms are going to develop, and some of the rain will be heavy. And then there's going to be like an outflow boundary set from that, and there is a chance that some of that could work into our western counties Saturday night. And so I'm going to be watching that very closely. And then I think that boundary could persist into Sunday for some of our northwestern counties and western counties. Right now, it looks like the heaviest rain is going to set up north of Kerr County, but there is a chance that it could set up pretty much over Kerr County and some of our western counties, Uvalde and Del Rio. At this point, I would say that's a slim chance, but there's definitely a chance of that happening. And then as we head into Monday, high pressure builds in and rain chances go to near zero as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week as that high tries to build in. Now, all summer long, the high has been trying to build in and been unsuccessful in doing so, but I'm going to go ahead and leave rain out of the forecast for most of next week. So let's step through this. I'm going to be using the graph model, I believe, for this one. Okay, so we've got these, I just showed you the radar. We've got these isolated showers showing up today, about a 10 to 20% chance. Highs 93, which for this time of the year is not bad at all. As we head into Saturday, clouds in the morning, and then I think highs around 93 again, about a 20% chance of rain. Now look off to the north and west. You see that little outflow there? Some of the computer models for Saturday night into Sunday morning have some real heavy rainfall, like out towards Del Rio and Uvalde. That's a changing, evolving kind of thing. See that? It's a changing and evolving kind of thing, but there is that potential. And then you look at those thunderstorms coming in for Sunday morning. And so that's why right now the Weather Prediction Center has a marginal risk, which is a very slight risk that we could see some additional flooding. I think just depending, and like I said, when I started off with this is a real complex kind of a pattern. It all depends on several things, and then they build on each other. First of all, we got to have a lot of thunderstorm activity in the northwestern part of the state. I think we can check that off. I think that's going to happen. Now, but where that boundary sets up Saturday night and into Sunday is going to be very important. Some of the rain could be heavy. I'm thinking generally across the board, across south central Texas, as little as 1/10 of an inch, maybe as much as an inch for most areas. But there'll be isolated 2 to 3 inch rainfall amounts, and over Kerr County that would be horrible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it is definitely a possibility. As we head into Sunday, I think we've got about a 30% chance of seeing rain. Okay, so the Weather Prediction Center, they have a marginal risk. I think their thinking is we're just going to cover it right now with a marginal risk, and then we'll take a look and see how things evolve from there. So there is a very slight risk of flooding, additional flooding, over the weekend. Let's take a look. This is kind of a look at the weekend. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking anywhere, like I said, about 1/10 of an inch to maybe as an inch, as much as a 1/2 an inch for most locations. Kind of northeast, maybe 1/4 of an inch to an inch. Out west, maybe 1/4 of an inch to an inch. But I think northwest and far west, let's say from Uvalde to Del Rio to Leakey to Rock Springs, Kerrville, Gillespie County, there could be some isolated 2 to 3 inch rainfall amounts. So keep that in mind. All right, we'll do a little pollen count here real quick. I think we got molds. Molds are heavy, elm is light, pigweed is light, and grass is light as well. Okay, here's your 14-day forecast for today. High 93. Saturday, 93, 20% chance. Today, 10 to 20. Sunday, 30% chance. Saturday night into Sunday, those rain chances may come up. This is the way it looks to me right now, but they may come up, and also that flood threat may be upgraded as well from a marginal to a slight. That's one thing we're looking for over the weekend. Then next week, I think mid-90s, 95, 96, 97. Saharan dust comes back for the 18th, just for one day, I think, 97, and then the following weekend about 97. But I'm going to tell you, from about the 19th through the 24th, you're not going to believe what, I mean, the computer models are like 103 and 104 and this and that. And there's just no way, not with the soil moisture that we've got. So I think 97 to 98, and that may be even too warm because it's one of those summers where persistence is probably better than going with hundreds and 102. So I'm going to go 97 to 98, something like that. Okay, let's take a look and see if we've got any questions here. Hey, Esmeralda, how are you? It is Friday. I should have started off with that it's Friday, and Friday is a good thing. Thank you, Esmeralda. I appreciate it. Oh, your daughter lives in Greenville, Texas, which is in Hunt County, just northeast of Dallas. Very familiar with that. They've got, let's see. Oh, hey, Erica, how are you? It's raining out, okay, northeast corner of San Antonio. Okay, that's probably a good place to stop. We'll take one last look at the radar, because I noticed that. We're starting to see a little bit of some showers in here. Let's see. Load up. There we go. Yeah. Let's stop this. I'm going to stop it right there. Yep. And you said northeast corner San Antonio, 410 and 35. Let's go back just a little bit. And yeah, right there. Rated pretty good, 410 and 35. Be kind of close to Windcrest area. And that shower just in the last 15 minutes has moved to the north, now kind of close to Stone Oak Village, if you know where that shopping center is, just to the east of 281 there. We've got a few showers on the southwest side, kind of close to Southwest High School, it looks like. And let's zoom in here. Just real quick, because I've got the time, might as well. Okay, notice how this looks a little different. If I take off the radar site out of New Braunfels, this is like a composite view. When you see a composite radar, it looks a little smoother, a little more polished, and it takes all the radar sites and kind of makes it real nice and smooth and polished. I'm going to take that off, put the sweeping back on, and let's go with the radar site out of New Braunfels. And notice how it doesn't look so pretty, but this is the actual representation. This is what the actual shower looks like right there. Instead of being nice and circular and kind of round or whatever, that's more of what it looks like. And you can see the reason sometimes we don't use this is the ground clutter. There's a lot of clutter there. You can see that isn't rainfall. But where you see the yellow is, that's the shower. And if it's moving from southeast to north and west, that is definitely a shower there. And I can pinpoint exactly where it is raining, pretty close to TPC. If you know where JW Marriott is, it's very close to there. All right. You know what? That may be a good place to stop. All right, 10 to 20% chance today, 20% chance tomorrow, and about a 30% chance on Sunday. And there is that slight flooding threat over the weekend that we're definitely going to watch very closely over the weekend. All right. You got it. Thank you for being with me. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend, and we will see you later.